Escape. Some people engage in behavior problems, as I mentioned before, because things are too difficult for them and they want to escape or avoid it. Sometimes things are too boring. Periodically when I give talks, people get up and walk out. That's called escape behavior. You at some point say, don't want this anymore. We actually, and I mentioned that, there will be some people who get up and walk out because you can't sit too long, because for whatever reason. We engage in escape behaviors all the time. It's not bad to engage in escape behaviors. We do it when things are unpleasant. If you're at a party and someone, those people that talk to you with their face right up against your face, and you kind of back up and you back and they keep walking really close. So then you go, oh, I have to go do this. That's an escape behavior. That's okay. If, however, you bit your hand and screamed and was flailing on the floor like that, that would be inappropriate. What's inappropriate is what you did, not why you did it. Okay? So individuals that we work with often engage in behavior problems for appropriate reasons, but do it in an inappropriate way. So if your work is too difficult, I'll give you an example. I worked with a guy once. His teacher was working with him, and he had some pretty good skills. He was doing sight vocabulary, so very rudimentary sight vocabulary. So she'd hold up a card with the word car on it and the word truck on it. So she'd sit across from this guy. He was kind of tall, thin guy. And she'd say, let me just show you what's going on. So she'd hold up the card. She goes, point to the word car. And he'd lean over and smack her in the head. Okay? So she stood him up, ran down the hall, threw him in a timeout room, closed the door. He's got to be in there 10 minutes. Okay. Takes him back out after 10 minutes, sits him down. She was good. I mean, she really was good because she didn't hold a grudge. Her face is kind of swollen and red. She held up the card very brightly, point to the word car. And he leans over and smacks her in the head again. She runs him down the hall, puts him in a timeout room. He goes, it's 10 minutes. I don't think this is working though. Okay. Take him back. I said, let me sit with him. I sat down across from him and said, point to the word car. And he kind of looked at me, looked at her, looked at me, and then he smacked me in the head. And then he stood up, and he was ready to go down the hall for his 10-minute break. I said, no, sit down. Took his finger, point to the word car. Good. Now you can sit by yourself for a while. What happened? What happened was either this was too difficult for him or it was too boring, but he found out if I hit her, I get out of it. I don't have to do it. Okay? I get to go and hang out for 10 minutes in a separate room. In fact, it got to the point where when they started to bring him back to the room, he would begin to hit them, so they would put him back into timeout. Again, in the teacher's mind, this was a horrible intervention. They had to get approval from the parents, they had to get approval from everybody. This is a terrible punishment. For some kids it would be. For him, it was actually reinforcing. That's what he wanted, was 10 minutes of not having to work. Okay? What did I do? What I did was said, if you worked, you can be by yourself for a while. Okay? It's not bad to want to take a break. It's not bad to help you. What's bad is hitting people to do that. Okay? So escape is an important consideration in behavior problems. You need to be aware of that.